I had a lucky week this week and managed to get my hands on this bottle. With all the great reviews, I am excited to try this one, so let's go. Welcome back to Old Fashioned Ways Plus Plus. I'm Doc Martinez, and today I am super excited to try this Jack Daniel's 14-year Batch 1. I got a call from my local spec saying that I was selected for a bottle and I had to come in and pick it up. Now, they don't like to tell you what it is because they want you to get there and be surprised. So all the way over there, I was hoping that it was this bottle. I was even telling my wife on the way over there, please let it be the Jack 14. So when I got there and got this, I was super excited, and now I have it so I can review for you guys. So let's not waste any time. Let's pop this open, pour some out, let it breathe, and get into this bottle. And ooh, nice pop, pour some out. Love that sound. It's such a great sound. And let's put this over here and let it breathe for a moment. The release of this Jack Daniel's 14-year-old Tennessee whiskey marks the first time since the early to mid 1900s that Jack Daniel's has offered an expression of this age. That by itself is exciting. Now, I've watched a few reviews, and the reviews on this have been amazing. Some comparing it to the Russell Reserve's 15, which is one of my favorite pours from last year. As always, anytime I do a review, I love to share. So stay tuned to find out how you could possibly win a sample of this. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the bottle. Bottle details. Jack Daniel's 14-year Batch 001. Classification Tennessee whiskey. Distillery Jack Daniel's. Release date February 2025. Proof is 126.3 proof, making it 63.15% ABV. Age at least 14 years. Finish, there's none stated. Mashbill, 80% corn, 12% malted barley, and 8% rye. MSRP, $150. Anytime I do a review, I do a score of 1 to 10 on aroma, flavors, complexity, mouthfeel, finish, and of course, would I buy again? So I've been letting this sit out for a while, letting it kind of air out, but let's get into it. I'm using my buddy Whiskey Shaman's glass. If you haven't gotten one of these, go get one. It's a nice glass. Let's start off with looking at this. Oh yeah, that is a dark, dark amber. I love how dark that is. That's what you want to see in something that's 14 years old. See that darkness in there. Now, as for sticking in the glass, it sticks to the glass very nicely. I don't know if you can see that, but very nice, tight legs that are just the oiliness is slowly starting to come down. I like when it does that because that usually means it has good viscosity and sticks on that mouthfeel and just adds that extraness to it. But let's go in for aroma. That nose, let's go in for that. Ooh, just right off the bat, it's a sweet and oakiness to it. It's interesting. Normally with Jack, you're gonna get like banana, but I'm not smelling that banana in this one. At least not yet. I smell a sweet, I smell cherry, I smell oakiness, a little bit of like baking spices, some cinnamon in there. It doesn't even smell like that strong 126 proof. It doesn't hit your nose very hard. That alcohol is not very alcohol forward, and that's just an excellent nose. I'm already starting to salivate a little bit just smelling it. That is a good nose. So for the nose, for aroma, I'm gonna give that an 8.2. Good solid start. All right, flavors, the initial taste. Now, I haven't had anything else to drink today. My first drink of the day. And sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad, but I'm hoping this is gonna be good. Ooh, that initial taste hits that tongue, just covers that mouth really quickly. There's a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of spice. There's a burntness in there, like a burnt butterscotch. There's something else in the background. I can't figure out what that is. It's gonna hit me eventually, but I can't figure out what that is. There's a lot that my mouth had to take in for that first time to kind of acclimate. There is some nice warm. I am getting a Tennessee hug on that one. So initial flavors, it's creamy, cinnamon, sweet, just lots of good flavor there. A little bit of oakiness. Not very tannic on that first one, but we'll see how it progresses through this. So for that initial flavor, I'm gonna give that an 8. All right, let's go for complexity. How does this evolve on the tongue, okay? Just let it sit there on the tongue. A little bit more of that spiciness. So on that second drink, I'm getting a little bit more spiciness. That flavor that's in the background, I can't figure out what it is yet, but it's so good. So good. I wish I could figure out how to describe that. But on the front, there's that, the cinnamon, the flavor there, the butterscotch, the tobacco starting to come through. That you're starting to taste some of that oakiness and tobacco, kind of a leather note that you're gonna get with these more aged ones. There's a dark chocolate. There's some nuttiness on this. None of that banana flavor that, you know, I'm used to getting with these, but wow, complexity, the evolve, the way it just sticks and just goes through it. This is actually a really, really good pour. I'm really enjoying this. So it's not just all that hype. There is a lot of flavor to this. The thing is, it is flavor with some of that age in there. And if you don't like that oakiness, it's there, it's present. You're gonna taste that. That's something you have to kind of be careful for. But with that complexity, I'm gonna give that an 8.2 as well. Now, mouthfeel, thickness and viscosity on that tongue. It's on there right now. And so I'm gonna go in for another drink. I'm just gonna enjoy this for a moment. Ooh, more dark chocolate notes, cherry notes, butterscotch, like more of that sweetness is coming through. Then you get a little bit of that tannic at the end, the leather, that tobacco. But man, covers the tip, covers the mid, covers the back of the mouth, covers the root of my mouth. I'm salivating all the way through on this one. It's even making my eyes water a little bit. This is just nice. Nice thickness, nice viscosity, doesn't leave the tongue, gives you a nice Tennessee hug. So from beginning to end, that mouthfeel, I'm gonna give that 8.5. Now finish. How does it stay and how does it finish? What does it change into? Let's go for that. Rich, lingering oak, chocolate, cinnamon, tobacco. The butterscotch is not there as much, but that back taste is kind of like, it's a burnt kind of, like you kind of get a burnt taste. It's like a burnt butterscotch. There's a better way to describe that, and it's just not coming to my head right now, but it's just a very nice flavor. So if you like something that's aged and you like to go through that sweetness to the darkness to the oaky tobacco flavors, this goes through all of it. There is some spice in there, but it's not over spice. It just lingers there. So I still have that spiciness there, but I also have some of that sweetness. And in the back, I have some of that tobacco and that leather notes that just kind of that stay there and just linger on it, and it just finishes. The finishing just keeps going on and on and on, and I like that. I like this finish. So for this finish, I'm gonna give that an 8. No, for that finish, I'm changing that. I'm gonna give that an 8.5. Now question, would I buy again? $150? Yes, every day, all day, every day. On secondary, unfortunately, this is going for like $600. Would I pay $600 for this? No. I think the max I would pay is probably about $250 for this, and I think, you know, $150 is an excellent price, and that's where they put it. And I love that they put it there. That's a great price for this. I mean, it's such a good price for that, and I like that they're doing that. They're giving us a chance, right? $600, I don't think I would pay for that, but I definitely would buy this again. But because of that secondary cost, I'm actually going to give that 6.5. Wow. So my total on this is 47.9 out of 60. I really thought this was going to be my first one that I hit 50 points or more. A great pour. I think they did a great job. They're doing aging very well. I'm liking the age. I like the way it tastes. I like that it's not over oaked. I like that it goes through that evolution. I love that there's just so much complexity to this. Great, great, great pour. I think I am gonna, I don't have a lot of Russell's 15 left, but I think I'm gonna do a blind with maybe this Russell's 15, maybe something else thrown in there, and see how it ranks, because I'm very curious. As I said, this is my first pour of the day, and it just hit in the palate nicely today. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying this pour. I hope I can find a backup bottle. I don't think I will, but if I can, oh my goodness, I'm gonna enjoy that. So after all that, let's talk about this. Let's talk about how can you win a sample. First of all, if you have not, please go hit that like button. Go hit that like button and subscribe. Also in the comments below, I want you to tell me, is Jack a bourbon or not? I know there's a lot of controversy out there, so I want to see what you guys think about that as well. Also add hashtag Jack14, hashtag Jack14. Well, my friends, thank you for joining me on another journey down my whiskey rabbit hole. Woo, this was a good one. I'm really enjoying it. To our next journey, my friends. Cheers.